Man be man is back.
Oh, okay, boys, do it again. Oh my gosh, the ring got messed up. This is a 5 out of freaking 5.
It is beat making time.
Next week is E3 week. My album comes out next week.
I have the leopard. You know what I'm saying? That's true. You know what I'm saying? But oh, look at that, my God.
This is your boy. All right, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens, y'all know who this is. This is your boy Dash the True Inferno. Back at it with another Pokemon Unite commentated video gameplay for you guys, and ladies and gentlemen, I've been warning you guys about this. It has begun, unfortunately. So what am I talking about? Well, we'll get to that later on in the video. If you saw the title, you'll probably know what I'm talking about here. But I will give you all the details behind it. But first, we gotta talk about something else that Ubisoft is doing, and it's involving one of their newest games that is coming out. Oh, in August. I thought it was coming out sooner than that, but it's coming out in August. So, Ubisoft is coming out with Star Wars Outlaws. And I'll be honest, while I have no desire to pick that game up, but based on the trailer that I've seen of the game, I mean, it looks good. I ain't gonna lie, it looks good. Now, let's talk about their additions for this game. So they got the standard edition, which would cost $70, which sucks, but like it's bland. But the thing about it is, like, there's been some stats out there where 60% of gamers don't buy new games. They just play the same games over. And what I mean by new games, we talk about games that came out within the last 3 years. They don't buy games like that. They apparently wait for them to go on discount, then buy them. But they too busy playing older games and like service games like Fortnite. I forgot, there's an exact term for it, but I forgot what it's called off the top of my head. But that's beside the point. Star Wars Outlaws costs $70, the standard edition. You're going to get the game and the pre-order bonus, which will come with a cosmetic pack for your speeder, and a cosmetic for the Trailblazer Starship. All right, and that's it. Okay, that's if you pre-order the game, by the way. So there's that. Then there's the gold edition, which costs $110. So what you going to get with that? The base game, the pre-order bonus, same with the standard. But then you're going to get 3 days early access. So you'll be able to play this game 3 days before it is released worldwide. And you're going to get the season pass, where you're going to get 2 DLCs that will release after launch. Keep exploring the world of Star Wars Outlaws with all new stories, quests, and areas to discover. So they talked about what else to go get. The Jabba's Gambit exclusive mission available at launch. And the Kelso Wonder character pack featuring additional cosmetic for Kay and Nyx. So, wow, I do not like the fact that video games cost $70. I can't talk. Nowadays, I'm not losing sleep over that. Now, with the gold edition, that one is hit or miss. It depends on, like, with the whole 2 stories, how long are those stories? Like, if they, like, each story is, like, 4 hours long, and I may be stretching it, I don't know, then this ain't fine. This is cool. $110 for this. That's straight. That's straight. Okay, no problem there. Now we get to the Ultimate Edition. We're going to get the base game, the pre-order bonus, the 3-day early access, the season pass, and then you're going to get, let's take a look at this real quick. The Rogue Infiltrator bundle, which include cosmetics for Kay, Nyx, the Speeder, and the Trailblazer spaceship. So more cosmetics. You're also going to get the Sabak Shark bundle, which includes more cosmetics for Kay and her blaster, Nyx, the Speeder, and the Trailblazer spaceship, so more cosmetics, and a digital art book. And I'm like, and that costs $130. And I'm looking at that like, what the hell is that? Like, what the hell is that? Like, all of that should have been in the gold edition, and there shouldn't be an ultimate edition unless it comes with a freaking statue or something. And in that case, you can say, okay, that would cost $200, something like that, because of statue. Fine, so be it. But this nonsense right here, to me, that makes no sense. The Ultimate Edition makes no sense. Do not get the Ultimate Edition. That's a waste of money. Just get the gold. You'll be straight with the gold. If you want to, like, go above and beyond, you want to get that season pass out the way, get the gold. Get the gold. Now, there's also a Ubisoft Plus the Ultimate Edition, where if you have the Ubisoft Plus membership, this game, the Ultimate Edition of this game, rather, will be included. So that's $17, no, really, $18 per month. So we talk about 100 plus PC games and all that other stuff. So yeah, Ubisoft, they got their own, pretty much their own streaming service. So there's that. I want to talk about that because to me, that Ultimate Edition by itself is ridiculous. Do not pre-order that. Do not get that. That is a waste of money. Just get the gold. You'll be straight. A digital art book. What the heck is a digital art book? That's to me is garbage. Like that to me is straight up garbage. Now, I do see at the Ubisoft store, I'm on their website by the way, save an additional $10 when you spend $20 or more with coupon code LEGEND24. Legend all caps by the way, and then the number 24. Now, that will lower the Ultimate Edition from $30 to $20. I would still say it's not worth it. Just get the gold edition, use the coupon, and you're only paying $100 for the gold edition. So, just do that. I'll be honest. Just do that. The Ultimate Edition to me is trash. Do not get that. Do not get that at all. So, now with that bit of news out the way, let's talk about more Ubisoft news. And this is the main event of the video right here. So, for those of you who haven't heard, Ubisoft once upon a time came out with a game called The Crew. It's somewhat of a racing game. So, it's similar to Fast and Furious, but it's not that grand. It's basically you racing and getting vehicles and things of that nature. But the game wasn't really successful like that. And The Crew 2 was even worse. Now, I did play The Crew. The Crew was alright, but I kind of like dropped it because it was like, eh. But The Crew 2 was worse. So, here's what's going on. Let me give you the article from IGN.com real quick. 2014's The Crew was the first project for developer Ivory Tower, which was founded in Lyon, France in 2007 and later acquired by Ubisoft in late 2015. While it may have been the debut game for the studio, a number of Ivory Tower staff formerly hailed from Lyon's Eden Games, including Ivory Tower's 3 founders, and had previous experience on the first 3 installments of the V-Rally series, the PlayStation version of Need for Speed, Porch Unleashed, and the Transcending Test Drive Unlimited. As such, there was a good deal of optimism around The Crew. While The Crew was a racing game of impressively preposterous proportions with a map that spawned a condensed version of the entire continental USA, it was admittedly shy of perfect. Its unprecedented size and environment so big it took several hours to drive around, by the way, took a clear toll on its finer details and oh my gosh, this is a big word. Contemporaneous rival races like Forza Horizon 2 and Drive Club with far more handsome options. Its rubber band AI was regularly exasperating with low-level opponents still able to rocket past high-level cars they should have no business keeping up with. It also had a surprisingly stinging economy where you could find yourself at the level cap out of story missions and still without sufficient credits to actually buy any of its most desirable cars. So again, that's why it didn't do so well. Now, check this out. However, despite this, its staggering size really was something to behold, and thanks to that, it was undeniably brimming with racing opportunities and exploration potential. Rather, of course, I can't talk. The operative word here is words. The Crew was a whole bunch of things, but it's not any of the things anymore because it's gone. So what happened? What happened? Longtime racing gamers are no doubt accustomed to the idea that their favorite racers won't be available to buy forever. At least for games featuring licensed car models and tracks, there will be a rad signed contract somewhere that places a time limit on a publisher's ability to sell them. Even the biggest racing franchises have been victims of these automotive lang oilers, munching through the history of the genre and chewing up anything past its expiration date. There are more racing games that you could no longer buy digitally or new at retail that I have. Yeah, okay, so we're going to ignore that part. So, let's get to the meat of the whole scenario here. And this is a long article here. So, basically, I'm not going to read all this crap because it's basically not getting to the point here. The bottom line is this. The Crew is no longer available for you to purchase. But it's worse. It's actually worse than that. And ladies and gentlemen, this is something I've been warning you guys for a while now. It started with digital media in the form of like movies and television shows. Now it's bringing itself over to video games. What am I talking about here? Not only can you not buy The Crew, but if you bought The Crew in the past, it will be removed from your library. If you digitally bought The Crew from, if you digitally bought The Crew in the past, it will be removed from your library. I'm not joking. I'm dead serious. Let me see. We got another article from thegamer.com. So let's take a look at this real quick. Last year, it was announced that the open world racing title, The Crew, would be delisted from storefronts and have its servers shut down in 2024, as developer Ubisoft claimed it was necessary to do so due to, and I'm quoting here, server infrastructure and licensing constraints, end quote. With The Crew being an online-only title, by the way, it meant that the game would make completely unplayable when the servers were eventually shut down on March 31st. Now, just under 2 weeks after the shutdown, those who previously owned The Crew, and what that means is those who digitally bought the game, are accusing Ubisoft of stealing from them, as there have been several reports of players completely losing access to the game after being revoked from their Ubisoft Connect accounts. YouTuber Occurs Farms has been campaigning to stop the destruction of games for quite some time and have claimed on Twitter that they have been receiving several reports of people losing access to The Crew despite having paid for the title. There are several people in the replies to Occurs Farms tweet confirming these reports, providing screenshots of themselves trying to access The Crew but being told that they no longer have access to this game. Right now, we can only verify that those who purchased the game via Ubisoft Connect are having The Crew revoked from them, but it's possible the same could be happening on other platforms. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. You bought something online. It don't matter how long ago it's been. You bought something online, and just like that, it's taken away from you. And there's no refund. There's no signs of a refund. There's no signs of, oh, we're going to reimburse you with something else. They just take something that you bought, and that's it. Now, it's one thing, like I said, I talk about this, when other company, when like Sony did this with the Discovery fiasco. It's one thing if they take away a show from a streaming service that you're paying monthly for. So, because that tends to happen, that, shows comes and goes on streaming services, so like Hulu, Disney Plus, Netflix, Crunchyroll, the Once Upon a Time Funimation, High Dive, and other, Paramount Plus, Peacock, and other streaming services like that. Shows come, shows go. That's how it is with streaming services. And remember, with streaming services, you're paying for the right to use the streaming service and for all the shows and movies that are available on that streaming service. You don't own that show or that movie on that streaming service. That's not how that works. So knowing that, that's understandable. But when you buy something specific, like a movie, like a TV show, like a video game online, and then it is taken away from you years later, and there's no reimbursement of this, that's a problem. That's a big, big problem. Now, let's continue on with the article. You might think that this isn't a problem, which is funny, I just said that this is a problem, given that the Crew server has been shut down and the game is literally unplayable right now, but it's not a great look for Ubisoft to be taking away the digital purchases of paying customers, especially when you throw the publisher's recent controversial statements about game ownership into the mix. Oh, let's see what they say about that. Then we get to that paragraph right here. Oh, this is a problem. This is a problem. Look, check out this new article. Ubisoft executive says gamer needs to get comfortable with not owning your games. That right there is a problem. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to take a stand. It's time to take a stand. This right here is a problem. It's right here is a problem. Let me find the quote. Let me find the exact quote in this article, because this is a problem right here. So let's see. I guess I'll read the article. Just like with music and television, the game industry has been slowly shifting towards the all-digital future for some time now, despite pushback from certain communities with concerns surrounding preservation and ownership. Rightfully so. Unfortunately, it seems like the biggest publishers out there aren't concerned about the latter, as a Ubisoft executive recently stated that gamers need to get used to the feeling of not owning their games. This statement was made by Ubisoft's director of subscriptions, Philip, with an E at the end, Tremblay, who recently spoke to Games Industry.biz about the digital future and Ubisoft Plus specifically. Phillips states that people eventually got comfortable with not owning their CDs or DVDs collections. When did that happen? Wait a minute. What are you talking about? See, this is delusional right here. What? When did that happen? Not only like people, what? I'm dumbfounded by that statement. Because CDs and DVDs are physical items. They are physical items. When you buy those, you own those. That's it. Now, if he's saying that, oh, you can't upload the content on those DVDs, on the CDs online and claim it as yours, okay, you have a point there. That actually is correct. But in terms of like buying the CDs and DVDs and keeping them forever and saying, oh, no, that's not the case, I'm like, what the heck are you smoking? Like, what? But let's continue on with the article. I was literally dumbfounded when I read that. Okay. And that a similar shift in attitude needs to happen in gamers. Okay, let's move on. He goes on to explain that not only the game doesn't mean you lose your progress, and that you still keep the time you invested in what you built, even though you don't have a physical copy to stick on your shelf. Philip also says that he understands He understands the gamer's perspective when it comes to owning games, but claims that services like Ubisoft Plus will allow them to acquire the games when you feel like it. And he's missing the mark here. He's missing the mark here. Now, before that, let me see if he said anything else. But yeah, he didn't say anything else. There's no other quotes here. So on that note, even though I don't have the whole article or the whole entire statement, unless that was the entire statement, I don't know. But the bottom line is this: he's missing the whole point here. We ain't talking about subscription service. We know how subscription services work. You know, with the Xbox Game Pass and the crappy PlayStation 1 and the one from Nintendo, which shouldn't cost as much as it should. We understand that. Like, there's certain things on there that we don't own. With the subscription service, we don't own any of that content. That's how the subscription service works, or one of the ways the subscription service works. What we talking about here is dropping $40, $50, $60, $70 on a game, on one game, so you can play it whenever you want, so it can be in your collection, so it can be in your library, and yet you're taking that away whenever and not reimbursing people money for it. That's the problem here. And that's the thing that he's missing out on. Now let's get back to the original article the other article that I was reading originally. So let's see. Now, let's talk about the crew. The crew, in terms of the fact that, oh, it's an online only game, and now that the service shut down, what's the big deal about the crew? It's not about the crew. It's about the principle. Because I said this before, I said this multiple times, I'm going to say it again here. If companies are starting to do this with smaller stuff like this and feel that they can get away with it because not a lot of people are causing an uproar about it, not a lot of people say anything about it, they're going to move on to bigger stuff and stuff that you actually like. And the whole point is to stop it in the butt, stop it immediately before it gets to that point. So that's the whole point here, the principle of the matter. It must be stopped immediately. Now, let's continue on with this article. Many also pointed out that just because the crew is no longer supported by Ubisoft servers, it doesn't mean that the game will stay dead forever. There are plenty of preservationists out there that work to keep online-only titles working long after their servers has been shut down, evidenced by the surge in the popularity of the Nintendo network, which has been working tirelessly to recreate the Nintendo network to try and keep games such as Super Smash Bros. And the first Splatoon running online. Ubisoft taking the crew away from buyers provides them from the game's file, which they pay for, by the way, and also stop preservationists from archiving the crew and potentially creating their own servers. It also very concerning that a publisher had the power to do this as we slowly transition to the all-digital future that many preservationists are worried about. With Ubisoft pulling these types of or kinds of stunts, you can see why. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Again, this is a problem. This is not you paying for a subscription service. This is you paying to own something. It's like you buying a PlayStation 5 and you own it, but yet Sony comes up to your front door 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 later and say, yeah, we need that back. And they don't give you your money back for it. That's exactly what this is. This is a problem. This is a problem. I don't care if it is the crew. I don't care if the crew was barely a good game. If you want to go that high on it, I don't care if the online servers are dead and this is an online game. I don't care. The bottom line is this: when you paid money for a game, and at any point in time, these companies can take your products away from you that you pay for and they don't give you your money back, they don't reimburse you in any way, shape, or form, that's the problem. That's the problem. And it needs to be stopped immediately. Because again, if they're going to think they can get away with it for this small mind issue with the crew, they're going to move on to other games that are bigger and more popular and games that you actually like to play whenever, and then it's going to be too late. Because then they're going to say, well, we did this with the crew. Y'all didn't have a problem with it then, so why y'all have a problem with it now? So instead of giving them that argument, we need to stop this right now. Right now. It needs to stop. And I'm going to call it a wrap. So with all that said, y'all know this is your boy, New J Gatsby, a.k.a. New Stephen A. Smith, saying peace out, y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Yeah.